Hey traders, Raghee here. What a wild couple of days. Now yesterday, I put out a pretty bold statement that this bounce, this was Thursday's bounce, changes nothing. So you might say, okay, Ragh, are you going to tell me the same thing? Yeah, what I'm going to tell you it changes is it just changed the distance and narrowed it to the zone that I want to be shorting. So that's the change. The amount of, well, the higher highs that I need to see in order to be a short seller just narrowed. There's the change. Now, the NASDAQ is still my preferred short. And that is because when you take a look at the sectors within it, from XLK to XLY to XLC, they're far more bearish than, say, the top three sectors within the S&P, which are XLK, XLF, and XLV. In fact, I'd like to be long XLF, or at least outperforming stocks within the XLF. It's just not as clearly from a sector perspective. When you dissect the index, it's just not as clearly bearish. So the structure of the NASDAQ still, for me, merits a short. Now, as this distance closes, I'm going to tell you, this is really, for me, no different than this acceleration to the downside and then the bounce to the wave. Got a second bounce to the wave. And I'm just looking for something that looks a lot like the move that we saw from the Jan 24 low to basically the February 2 high. Now, some of you might decide, hey, Ragh, let's pull some symmetry on that, things like that. Fine, that's great. If it's symmetrical and then it lands us in the wave, preferably with the 200 propulsion, holding as resistance, I am right as rain, and that's where I want to be shorting or getting long QQQ, maybe even getting long XLY puts, right? So this is still very much a bearish market as far as I'm viewing it. And the change today, we just got closer to the 21 propulsion. We just got closer to the February VWAP. We just got closer to the wave. And that's great, right? Now, this is not the only market that was pulling back and not the only one that I want on your radar. The other one is crude. Crude pulled back in a really nice way, pulling back to nearly the wave. The last time we got long crude was right in here. We took that right to the Darvis, okay? So, of course, you know what I want to do. Get long, here we go, to that same level again. So, ideally what we have is another pullback to the wave with a return to the resistance of the Darvis 2.0. 3.0, if you got it, 2.0 is the free version that you can get from over at countdowntrader.com. By the way, if you haven't already, on the 9th of March, it's right around the corner, gang, we're going to have a webinar. I'm walking you through these tools and the kinds of trades that we have been making, like this crude oil trade, like the short in the NASDAQ that we took from February 9, okay? So this bounce, while somewhat disheartening, giving back unrealized profit, has already been a successful trade. These are the kind of trend follows that I want everyone to be aware of. What else is going on today? Dramatic pullback in corn, dramatic pullback in beans. Absolutely something on the radar, something that I do want to take advantage of next week. So longs in crude, longs in beans, longs in corn on these pullbacks, short in the NASDAQ on the bounce. I do also want to continue to look for shorts in the Russell and in the, here we go, the Russell. Now, this is not a trend following short. I still want to look for shorts in the Russell, basically within the Darvis zone, 2060 to about 2102, 2103. That would be IWM puts, which, by the way, we did back in this area before. Nice little drop, and I'm looking for another return to that overbought zone to do it again. And then the 6E, which has been a fantastic short. Here we go. From the 115 handle, I'm not expecting the euro to get back up to 115, although it did last time. Great follow through. Now I'm looking for likely and only a retracement of the last major move, getting me to really what I like as far as a sweet spot of the 50% to the 618, right back into the February VWAP, really right back into sort of the heart of where we chopped before we start heading lower, because I am a dollar bull, and this has been a great way, short the 6E, short the euro, to take advantage of being bullish the US dollar. So not the same overbought, awesome 115 handle. I don't know that we're going to see that again, but definitely this could be a nice aggro to moderate zone for another short in the 6E. Really stoked about that. So Russell and 6E are overbought shorts. NASDAQ is a trend following short. Keep an eye on those grains. And then, when it comes to grains, we can take a look at pullbacks in names like Archer Daniel Midland. We can take a look at the agriculture ETF, DBA. There's a lot of cool things that are on the periphery of this if you are primarily a stock option or ETF option trader watching this video. You know that I do a lot of both. If you're wondering how I combine the two in my trading, again, mark on your calendar, March 9, we're going to talk about how we're using the TOPS tools. You can go download them now from countdowntrader.com. I'm really looking forward to this conversation, because what's really important is, for the first time, probably in a couple years, we had a really difficult early January. And I'm going to talk about what made January difficult and why, to kick off the brand new year, I went 4 losses in a row. I'm sure a lot of you experienced maybe something similar. How do you come back from losses? How do you reassess the market and regain the confidence to then say, I need to stop trading for a minute? We stopped trades and longer term alerts for almost 8 to 10 days. I day traded through that period of time. Then on the very last week of January, and even up until today, February 25, we've been on about a 5-week tear of, I think, north of 20 trades. Don't hold me to it, but I'll have the exact numbers for you all. Since then, I think we've had 3 losers, right? I'm not trying to brag a win rate. What I'm trying to say is things have changed in this market. So if you're still sort of smarting from the earlier middle part of January thinking, this is still such a tough market, it is getting better. Despite the volatility that we've seen this week, there are a lot of opportunities, and I absolutely want you to be able to grab them with both hands. All right, as always, thanks for your time. Leave your questions and comments, maybe a symbol that you're curious about. Hey, Raghee, is this a trend? Would this kind of follow some of the setups that you've been discussing here in the video? Let me know. Leave that symbol in the comments below. Leave your question in the comments below. And if these videos are helping you move the needle, smash that like button. I'll see you on Monday, 9 a.m. for Charts and Coffee, right at the Simpler Trading YouTube channel. Be good to each other. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.